A smart organization today is one that capitalizes on the unique skills and knowledge and even the unique ways of working of their Generation Y. This generation demands that we return more value on their assets, their skills, their knowledge, their energy. In fact, they evaluate each work experience on how well their assets get used. What I've learned in my 20 years as a leadership development specialist and working for top organizations can be summed up in that leadership is not about position, but it's about disposition. Wake up, it's Gen Y calling, is about listening to your Generation Y, because they're telling you how you need to adapt your organization so that your organization is fit for the future. This generation is in-house experts in everything from Web 2.0 to open collaboration, social networking. What I would say to new grads and parents of new grads is read this book, Hitting Stryde. Hitting Stryde is 110 career shortcuts that will help you navigate your career from university to your new job. I want to have a conversation with you today. I'd like to get to know your names and for you to know mine. Now, I was given a pretty tough name, Daneal. So I get people to remember it by saying it's like Captain Daneal with a D. Now, if you're laughing in the room, it's because you're over 40, I'm sorry to say. Yeah. But I'm working with a lot of under 30s because I do young leaders development programs. So my new, more hip name is Shaquille O'Daneal. Why is the topic so important to organizations? It's important for 3 reasons. The first one is if we retain our Generation Ys, we can avoid the headaches associated with turnover, rehiring, and retraining, and the cost associated with hiring a new junior grad. On average, it costs organizations between $75,000 and $100,000 for a new grad. The second reason that's important to retain our Gen Ys is we are creating a pipeline of leaders for the future that can take over in 10 to 15 years from you and you and you. And lastly, if we want to be in business in the future, it's the unique skills and knowledge and even the unique ways of working of this generation that can create for you an unreplicable competitive advantage. I want to tell you the story of Lisa and Stephen. These are 2 new grads that I've interviewed. Stephen was a high potential young grad who was recruited by a top 100 company in the oil and gas industry for their high potential leadership development program. This meant he would get mentorship and job rotations for the next 2 years. At this point, he was as high as the CN Tower. Now, I want to take you 1 year later. The promise made to Stephen had been broken. So Stephen, instead of complaining, initiated a discussion with HR and his boss. He was told that the reason the leadership program didn't materialize was because of a corporate merger. But Stephen's job was really highly administrative and not challenging, and he said what disappointed him most is that he didn't get the real-time feedback that would allow him to make improvements in his job. So here was Stephen, first as high as the CN Tower, now as low as a basement. I said to him, Stephen, what percentage of your skills and knowledge are you using? And he said, 25%, and he was ready to quit. I want you to contrast Stephen's situation with Lisa. Similar, great education from an Ivy League school, excited about joining top 100 consumer products industry company. But what was different between Stephen and Lisa is her expectations were managed from the get-go. From the recruiting process, Lisa was told what was going to be next and how she was doing. Her manager had a very hands-on, one-on-one style with 15-minute meetings every week to check on how she was doing. She got tons of challenges in the first year, just as the company had promised, and was able to utilize 90% of the skills and knowledge that she brought to the table.